Man, Kellen, could you believe UCLA won against Washington State back in 1955, 19-17? I think back then people thought that was a close game, but
Wow.
that's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Oh, hey, look, the review started.
Oh, okay.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting edition of Cameron, did you sleep in your clothes again?
Yeah. What are you wearing, Kellen?
Cameron, I always wear these in reviews. Anyway,
Okay.
that's not what we're here about today. Everybody's here to talk about this boy right here. And as you guys can tell, this is an unplugged edition because this guy is electrifying enough. There you go. I'm sorry, that's a terrible joke. Anyway, so getting into the review right off the bat, guys, because this is probably going to be a long one, just to be honest. The one thing that I never thought I would see on a single piece of cardboard is these two boys right here, and it's just cool to see both logos tied in together. Now, one of the things you'll notice on the back is the tech spec, because they had to
Mm.
cram 29 languages or 27. The tech spec suffers a little bit, but you can see these four emblems right here are ones that we saw on the Titans return line. But if you look right here, there's two new symbols, Cameron.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Notice that. Look at that. So there's a flux capacitor and the clock tower. Huh. That's pretty cool. Wow.
So, obviously, with it being a double thing, of course, it's probably no surprise. But
No.
the one thing I do like about the packaging is how the art styles have been blended. Because up here you have like the old school, you see, it goes from the hovering DeLorean to his robot
Right.
mode. And then it has the old school black and red grid work, which bleed on over into, the robot mode artwork over here, which if you can kind of see, he has the flux capacitor on his knees.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, but I like how this little flame deal down here kind of bleeds over onto the back, Cameron. But that kind of looks familiar.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you made me think about this, that artwork looks very, very familiar. So those of you who were alive back in the 80s probably remember that the poster for the second movie is actually what that's depicting, and I'll pull it up just real quickly here. So if you can kind of see on the back of the deal, the packaging has coming soon on the tag plate and BK2 FUT2. So they kind of took that and they put it on the back of the artwork for the packaging, which is really, really cool. So yeah, you see it right there. Coming soon, back to Futu is what Kellen and I both referred to it as when we first saw it. So, but yeah, I think that's really cool that they use the Back to the Future 2 artwork. That's pretty slick, and I like the incorporation of using the 1980s Transformers logo along with the Back to the Future 30th anniversary thing is pretty cool,
So
or the
that's
35th.
actually
Sorry.
that's actually the logo they used for the 35th anniversary of it.
If I remember right, yeah, that's the 35th anniversary logo. So if you look at the like the Blu-ray copies, and things like that, the 4K will all say 35th, and they should have that style of font on them. And then,
Oh,
that's another thing to notice just by your finger is how most of the products will have the Transformers logo there. But what's nice about this one is I like the fact that you can see the flux capacitor kind of bleeding into the X, and then you get obviously the 2020, and then the DeLorean over there on one side, and then the Transformers. Another thing that I've noticed here, and some of you may not be able to catch it or see it, and Kellen pointed it out to me earlier before we started this review, is that if you look at more than meets the eye, the O for where the more is actually the Autobot symbol, which is quite interesting. I
yeah.
like it. I think
The
it's really,
camera's
really
not picking
cool.
it up real well, but yeah, like you said, it's legit.
Right.
But I think Cameron's favorite thing is probably on the box is this over here.
Well, of course, and I was just gonna say, just for so we can get this out there, this review is brought to you in part by Emmett L. Brown Sciences. So if you do want to get anything done sciencey, you just contact Emmett L. Brown, Kill Valley, California. They'll get whatever you need done. So, but I like that they use the back of the of his trailer. Basically, they used that. So, and Kellen, I know you're about ready to open it. So
Well, and
it's
because over here, this artwork, the flap opens out like a normal Transformers box flap would open that way. But
yeah.
because this is like the shape of the GMC truck that the DeLorean was in,
Yeah.
this they
Ironic that
made
it's a GMC truck holding a DMC car.
right. So anyway, this flap opens down like it would for the truck deal when it comes out.
Yeah, of
Obviously,
course.
you can see it's not, it's at its action angle, but I think it's time we get this boy out of his box.
I think it's time. Let's do it.
Oh, before we do that though, I do want to go ahead and mention, you can see this is artwork that was inside the box
Yeah,
behind it, which is kind of cool.
which I really like that. I think that's really cool the way they did that. It's almost like a sketch design of the concept DeLorean.
Oh man, this is exciting. You know,
I
Cameron,
do
I
have
think
my just so you viewers know, I have my own DeLorean here for reference purposes. So you might see me looking down every once in a while during this review, and that's only because I'm trying to compare what I'm seeing on Kellen's side of the screen versus what I've got seeing here in front of me. I want to make mention too that I know they're not trying to go for a exact replica. I get that too, that this isn't meant to be an exact replica. Nothing is, but they're trying to get it as close as possible. Stay true to the original, but keeping in spirit of being a transformer as well. So they're gonna have some noticeable differences, which will not bother me at all.
thank you
So
for that. It yeah. Well, as anybody in the Transformers community knows, with Transformers in general, there generally is a lot of liberties taken. And I'm sorry, they made his gun near impossible to get out of there.
oh, did they?
That's why I'm like
Well,
taking forever to do it. So there you go.
that's kind of funny. They're like, well, we're gonna put the gun in there, but we're gonna make it near impossible for anybody to get out. Choking hazard.
All right. So, oh, okay. I see how they do that. They packaged it in there like that. We'll get to that here in a minute, but you can see nice underside stuff. Hey,
Nice.
Cameron, I gotta say that I'm geeking out a little bit right now because whenever I was a kid, I think what I subconsciously wanted was a DeLorean from Back to the Future at this size.
Right.
And the fact that it's also now a transformer. Oh, sorry.
That's pretty good though. That's pretty cool. Not gonna
So,
lie.
okay, so one of the first things he does come with is the lightning rod. So
Oh, nice.
basically, you just attach that right there. You can see.
Yep. That would be where the uh, plutonium chamber slash Mr. Fusion would be.
So actually, I'm stupid. It actually doesn't go in there. It goes in there.
Oh, okay.
So you can see now it's kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically just there you got the lightning rod. If you want to do that, there you go. That is an option.
Man.
Plus, Cameron, what do you like about the windows?
I love the fact that the windows are tinted because if I remember right, when they did the first iteration of this, when they did their first batch, the windows were very visible, and all you could see on the inside was the different. Basically, you saw the transformer inside hiding in there, and so I think the reason that they did that was to cover that, and at the same time, it was a smart move. So I think it makes it look slicker, in my opinion.
Okay, would you mind showing them your DeLorean? Because Mr. Fusion just dropped underneath the desk, and I got to find him now.
Yeah, no. So this one's not nearly. I mean, you could tell if you look closely at it, it's tinted, and the windows are supposed to be a little slightly tinted, and then at the front there, it looks a little dirty and dusty because this is the one from the third movie, obviously. So there's going to be some noticeable differences between this one and that one, being that I think that one's mainly modeled after the second movie, even though it comes with the lightning rod. I think it's mainly modeled after number two. So, and one thing I noticed about the Transformer Gigawatt is, on that side, they have the little part that's right here. Also, I'm pointing it at the screen, but I'm looking at it right now. They have the same exact part there on Gigawatt. I don't know if Kellen, if you can see that on your end, but that little part is right there in the back where the part of the window thing used to be. So,
Oh, like are you talking about right there?
yep, yep, little green guy.
Yeah,
Yep. So,
it's weird because this Mr. Fusion, I don't know whether I'm
mhm.
just not doing it right or whatever, but it doesn't seem to attach super well to the back. But it may just be something I have to work with because it seems real loose, like it can come off super easy.
Yeah,
So
but let's take a look at that real quick. I want to see the Mr. Fusion just real quick and how it compares to the look of the. So yeah, that's very very accurate, almost very accurate to what I have here on mine. So I think that it looks pretty good from where I'm looking at it. I don't know if you can see how well you can see it on my end with mine, but I'm sure
yeah,
it looks pretty good.
you'll have to forgive my terrible webcam. It's been showing its awful nature here, but looking at it in person, I mean, it says Mr. Fusion on there, and it has other text that I can't read. So
Hang
anyway,
on one second.
guys. So while he's go ahead and take care of that. So yeah, like I said, you can see where it attaches on the car, and it just doesn't seem to have quite a good enough hold as I'd like. Because, but again, that just may need a little bit of working once it's all said and done. So anyway, are we back, sir?
We are back. Yep,
Awesome.
back and loaded.
So anything else, what else would you like to bring out about the car and such?
Well, one thing that I would like to bring out is the lack of the DMC logo is pretty interesting. Now yeah, because you got the DMC logo right there,
Like a
an
legit
authentic one.
yeah.
Yeah. See, they didn't even include it on this model right here, like where it would normally be. It's not included. You could probably see that, okay, but I think that's okay. I mean, this is it. Yes, it's Universal Pictures owns the movie, but I bet that it probably cost them a lot of money to try to get the logo for the DMC. And then looking at the back, yeah, that's pretty accurate. I like that they got the smokestacks or the steam stacks to look pretty good. The out of
Cal-
time,
yeah, California out of time, which is different from
hmm
the poster art, obviously.
yeah,
And
which
I
I
mean,
think that's really cool.
you can definitely tell this is where the robo knees are, you know,
Yeah, I was gonna
or
say
feet.
that's definitely you could tell the legs are hidden right in there. So
But I mean, I like the overall details. I mean, I don't think the camera's picking it up, maybe a little bit, but
I can see it.
it looks like brushed stainless steel.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the stainless steel. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
So
I
okay,
thought you were talking about the inside window because if you angle it just right, you can see what I was talking about. When you angle it
right.
just right, you can see the inside of the car basically. And
It's
another
just not as
notable
egregious.
thing, yeah. And another notable thing that I'd like to point out is I like the fact that they made the doors functioning. Now, it wasn't like it wasn't necessarily necessary for them to do that, but it was a nice touch for them to have the deals do the doors open like that. So,
And we
which
don't.
yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
This is not a vinyl tech by any stretch, so it's not supposed to have a real legit interior. So
Yeah, but it makes sense. I mean, I mean, we're talking about a transformer, anyways. And if I remember right, didn't you tell me that there was a brand of transformers that they did for like a brief while that they tried to make the interior like they actually did out the interior as well as the outside, but the problem was is that they where they did that, it made the transformer look really clunky and
yeah, it was. I'm forgetting the name that I used to know them by, but one of its alternative names was Vinyl Tech.
yeah. Because I
So
think through Adams, didn't he do a review about him, or at least he had him in one of his reviews?
yeah, he has the skids version. So
Skids. Yeah.
I had the Shockwave and the Smoke Screen. I think one other, and they were not as much fun, to be honest. Like they were kind of like the stepping stone to what masterpieces are nowadays.
Right.
So,
Right.
all right, I think
So,
we before we move on, we need to show him off with his mold mate over here
oh
because
yeah, absolutely.
Transformers fans know that he is just straight up taken from Sideswipe's mold. I mean, there's
Yeah.
obviously, the aesthetic details are way different, but
Yeah.
at core, it's engineering. It's basically the same thing. Now, one
Now you
thing,
could hold. Oh yeah, go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say that now you'll notice that the hoods on these boys are very wide, whereas if you bring in another car, that you'll notice that it looks a lot smaller compared to it, but that's an optical illusion because they're about the same size. The only thing that makes this one look bigger than this one is that huge hood. So like I said, with Sideswipe, he's also got a big hood. So these two look better together.
Yeah, and I just noticed something about the wheels, and I don't know if you can see it on the hubcaps of the wheels on the DeLorean. I can't tell if that's the flux capacitor or if that's the Autobot symbol on the wheels there. I can't tell that for sure.
Neither. It's just a hubcap with four.
Okay, so they just yeah, I the way that it looked on the camera, I was just kind of thinking it would have been something they would have done. I mean, I wouldn't have put it past them to do something like that because since they've already dropped the logos everywhere else on the vehicle, so it's like yeah, let's put it here too.
Yeah. So I think what everybody wants to see is this boy in hover mode.
Robot mode, of course.
Well, now the
Oh, and that yes, you're right.
before we get there, because
Absolutely.
it
Yeah.
is, since the artwork references the second Back to the Future. Now, see, this is something that Sideswipe can't do. His wheels don't do this, but because this is the DeLorean, they had to
Right.
do that. So you can see the wheels fold up underneath it, and it can simulate the hover mode. Now,
Yeah.
there is, as Cameron mentioned, there is something that is a little bit slight off about this because in the movie, the wheels stuck out a little bit further, and the strut you could see going up into the body of the DeLorean. But again, to make this to at least have this feature, there you go, like he's showing you. You can see the differences there.
Yeah.
So it's you know what, but for me, like I'm totally okay with that, to be honest.
Right.
Um, so I mean, it's just cool that it has it. That's what I'm happy about.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty jazzed that they put that feature on there too. So I don't personally own one at the moment, but the more I look at this thing, the more it makes me want to get it. So looking at the one on Amazon, I'm like, yeah, I might jump on that one.
You're just enough of a Back to the Future sycophant. No,
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
uh, all right, well, something I'm going to do, which I hate doing on camera, but I'm going to get into it, is the transformation. So we'll go
And
ahead and
you gotta tell me how is this like gonna be an you think it'll be like easy transformation? Is it hard? I mean, what do you think?
well, because like I said, he's basically the sideswipe engineering, which is like super easy to transform. So basically, you just flip
Gotcha.
open the bottom of the vehicle, and yeah, I'm seeing. I mean, is you can definitely tell who he was derived from.
Nice.
Let's see if we can get these out here. These for us.
See, and you've always liked these transformers because they're like puzzles, that you can pretty much yeah.
And
Look at
then
that.
one thing I'm not sure how to do is the hood because they didn't have that feature on Sideswipe. So anyway, you just bring out his arms, flip down his hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that madness work?
Aha.
And I have a loud, obnoxious neighbor, so please pardon that, everyone. How does that?
He's playing some kind of music.
Okay, this is embarrassing. See, I should have watched a review, like PA did this review, because I don't want to break it. Where's the instructions? That would be a good thing to look at, probably.
Yeah. Kellen gets a transformer
Oh,
and
look at
breaks it
that.
in the same day he gets it or the next day after getting it.
I've actually done that before and been rather distraught that I did so.
I can imagine.
Okay, so it's saying that this flips up like this. So just can't get a good grip on it. My hands are too big. Oh,
Aha.
that is not inspiring confidence.
You said yeah, it's just like what Marty said to Doc in Back to the Future, the first one, you've instilled me with a lot of confidence, Doc. See, look at that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, because I was thinking on Sideswipe, his how he does it with his robot mode, but I'm just trying to figure out if it's pulling the same trick over here with Gigawatt, because the doors are very specific.
Right.
Okay, so that's okay. Sorry, I feel like a monkey messing around with the football here.
That's all right.
Guys, I promise whenever I do this off camera, I'm actually really good, but right now, all sorts of
Well, we gotta give you,
stuff.
give you, cut you some slack since this is a new one. You know, this isn't one you've done before. So,
It's that
wow,
good.
that's yeah,
Now,
wow.
yeah, look at that. That is legit. And the web camera won't do it, but these dates match the dates that are on the dashboard in the movie.
So, which movie? Like the second movie, right?
Uh, the the okay, because the top line is October 26, 1985. The middle line is October 21st, 2015, and then the bottom one is November 12th, 1955.
So, yep, the second movie. Cool. All right.
Now
I'm
I
not gonna
know
lie, the
that,
doors in the back really accent it well
well, and I wanna convert Sideswipe so real quick. So again,
as a
guys, this is
comparison.
why I do
Perfect.
stuff off camera is is because I usually have this all done by the time we get into robot mode. But
Right.
live streams are a little bit, you have to show me a little bit of slack, a little bit of patience.
Yeah. Well, we do. We do. It's understandable.
But I mean,
It's not like how
definitely,
Thu can do them. So Thu can just fast forward through them and such. But
well, he's got the luxury of editing. This time we're skipping the editing. That's you know,
yeah, of course.
so you can see how fast I did that. That's how
Right.
fast Gigawatt will eventually be. Now, see, Sideswipe stores fold in like this because they're a little bit of flaps. But as you can see with the gull wings, they're going to have to stick out here on the back because they are not skinny like those little pieces.
Yeah,
But
of course.
we flip him down, flip his legs around, boom. And without
We
accident.
just need that hard rock music to go with it. Oh, look at that. That's yeah, that's pretty close, man. Yeah, you could tell it by the robot mode more so than in the vehicle mode. You could really tell it's what it's modeled after. Because if you look at the if the you look at both of the heads, they look exactly the same. The heads do,
With the
and to a
exception
degree.
of the goggles that Gigawatt's
Yeah.
wearing. So,
Oh, that's right. Gigawatt's got the goggles, doesn't he?
yeah.
So he's got the uh, dark brown goggles. That's funny. And then of course the nice flux capacitor protruding out of his chest and all that. It's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then
And then, of course, the detail on his knees, it's also right there like it was in the artwork.
nice.
So, yeah, I mean, the one thing that I find kind of clunky, I mean, it is this, the stuff that makes it the time machine on the back of the legs. That does
Yeah.
look a little junky in robot mode, but as you saw in vehicle mode, it looks slick.
Yeah. Of
So,
course.
one of the things he comes with is his boomstick, or I mean, his lightning rod here.
His boomstick.
I mean, he
That's pretty
probably,
good.
I mean, you know, look at that. I mean, so if he
Yeah.
wanted to use this as like, if there was a Decepticon trying to get away, he could just hook onto him and, you know.
Now I would actually like to see that in reality. So please make that happen. Somebody out there making a movie. Make a movie featuring Gigawatt.
You know what I just noticed? Okay, so on the side swipe does not have this, but on the back of his shoulders, these pieces that form the little bits of the car mode around that, they actually fold out of the
Oh.
way. I didn't do that when I transformed it, but so be very
Oh.
careful because if you are less than gracious, I'm surprised I didn't break it. So just be conscientious if you get a gigawatt that these are on the backs of the shoulders. So,
Yeah,
um,
that could be devastating. Do that on a uncut video. Boom.
yes, I'd cry. Anyway, so they say to stick Mr. Fusion on the back of his rifle. You can do that, but I thought of something a little more interesting because Cameron, do you remember what Gigawatt was doing at the beginning of on the box art? Remember the pose he was striking?
Yep.
You know, that pose right there.
Yeah.
You can actually put Mr. Fusion in that combat port.
Are you serious? That is so awesome. Look at that. Just yeah, that's yep.
So,
That's awesome. I'm
uh,
not gonna lie. The so Mr. Fusion actually acts as a watch too. That's pretty cool.
so, and that credit to Few on that. He's the one that showed that it could do that. So there's that.
Nice.
So
Well,
let's armor this boy up. See how he'd be looking with his rifle.
man. Yeah, that looks pretty sick right there. Wow.
Now, this guy being taken from for the Transformers fans watching, that this guy being taken from Sideswipe, the whole gimmick of the Siege and Earthrise and the Kingdom line is the fact that they have modulators and other stuff that they can attach as battle armor all over him. And because he is taken from old Swipe over there, he does maintain a lot of the ports, as you can see, all over his arms and everything. So if you
Yeah.
wanted to use a modulator on this guy and make him look even more menacing, you can do that. I'm not going to do that in this video just because I don't have any modulators on hand at the desk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that I'm digging that. I mean that
That is pretty slick. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty slick that has all that too.
for some reason Jukebox Hero is playing in my head.
There
Jukebox
you go.
Hero. Why? Oh man, that is so cool. So we showed him off with old Swipe. Let's see how he looks next to I mean, why not? See how he looks.
Optimus, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I mean, the yeah.
It's gonna be a nice addition to your collection of Transformers. That's for sure. Or
I've
should I
been
say your museum of
well,
Transformers?
if people on this have seen I did a collection review, and there's been some slight adjustments to it, but now he has a dedicated space with the rest of the Earthrise figures, just
Right.
because he fits in best there. So, but technically he's a time traveler, so he could go to any go back to 2003 and sit with the Armada figure. No, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
so yeah, definitely the styling and everything. I mean, he's totally slick. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It's funny that they're gull wing doors, but the fact that there actually are wings on him,
Yeah.
I find that
I
kind of
think
funny.
that's kind of funny.
Plus, another thing is when you do a transform, I didn't show you this, but the stuff on the back that forms. What are those, Cameron? The
Those are the steam stacks or whatever.
yeah, the steam stacks will actually compress down in his leg.
Oh, that's genius.
I just now felt that and I was like, oh,
Nice.
yeah. So, yeah,
Man, they really did go all out for this one at least. I mean,
like I mean,
Hasbro
okay,
has done a really good job with this one.
like okay, and I think we have to address this just because we can. You know, like I've never been the biggest fan of Top Gun.
Right.
The jet mode for the Maverick Transformer looks good. It's
Yeah.
just
Agreed.
it's just the robot mode that I can't quite get behind.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you about that too. I was going to say if that would be a transformer that you would get in the future, and you just made the statement basically about it because I feel the same way. Like in jet mode, F-16, it looks really really good in F-16 mode,
Well, okay,
and
here's my
the
problem is they've already got a jet transformer mold
right,
that they could modify the jet to become the Top Gun jet. And
yeah,
okay, there's going to be some fans that be like, "Oh, it's just another Seeker." Well, yeah, but this looks a heck of a lot better than
than what
the.
they've already produced.
It looks like
Yeah,
a stick figure with Maverick's helmet on it. Is what that
yeah.
transformer reminds me of.
It, I agree. I do think it's awesome though that with the Top Gun one that they did include the volleyball. I do think that's pretty funny that they included that. So if only they could replace the head with the volleyball, that'd be even better.
Oh my gosh. But so anyway, Cameron, so that we get back on track with Gigawatt here. Um, any final thoughts about his robot mode that you want to bring out?
Well, honestly, I just gotta say that he looks pretty beastly in robot mode. I mean, yeah, he looks a little clunky, but that's to be expected when you got a hood the way you got it. And with the goings on the back, I think the goings they accent it, especially when you're looking at it dead on from the back. They really accent it well. From the sides, it does look a little funny, and yeah, you mean it does look a little good. But and then the legs themselves, I think the legs look the coolest out of all of them because they have the most detail on them. So you get the wheels on the side, you get the coils that you would see like on the side of the car. You get those that are accented into the car as well, which I think is just totally awesome that they included that. And it's understandable too that they painted those black because I mean it's not like they're gonna light up like they did in the movie. So I'm totally, cool with what they did there.
And
How about you?
so,
What do you think your final thoughts are with regards to robot mode?
I mean, I get that there's going to be only so many paint apps on this thing.
Hmm.
And given that Gigawatt has no prior version to compare them to, like in media or anything else, I
Hmm.
I think just this looks a little plain. But I mean, probably the paint apps all went to the back, especially for
Right.
Colorado, which is going to be its showcase mode. This
Right.
is just okay because it is a transformer. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're expecting this level of paint, well, that's not a good comparison. If you're expecting, this level of differential on Gigawatt, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
But despite that, he's going to look really good with any other Autobot that you have.
Exactly. He is. So
So,
he
I
he
mean,
fits pretty well in the Transformers universe, I think.
what's weird is neither one of those universes are too out of whack to where they couldn't make like an animated movie.
Yeah. Absolutely. They've already made a comic book based on him, right?
Yeah. So,
They could totally turn the comic book into an animated movie. So I would be down for that.
but anyway, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want to drag this thing on too long because it's probably going to be a pretty long video. But I mean, I just wanted to say thank you for joining me on this review, and uh, I find it funny that our two favorite hobbies they finally came together as one thing.
Yeah. It is kind of funny, isn't it, to think about our two favorite hobbies, Transformers and Back to the Future and DeLoreans and such.
Oh, you know what I maybe didn't realize that the wheels maybe I don't know because you can, but see that looks a little too wide
Oh.
there for me.
Yeah.
So I think maybe just leave it out like that. I mean, I guess if you wanted it to
Yeah.
kind of cover, but still that looks a little too fat for me on the legs.
Yeah. They got fat enough legs as it is.
Those big clod hoppers he's got. So anyway, um, but yeah, as far as like Cameron, I mean, has this tipped you over the edge, or are you still on the fence as far as getting one?
You know what? I think I'm still on the fence in a way, but I'm getting there. I'm getting really close to tipping over the edge, to
Yeah,
be
come
quite
on, man, he
honest.
has a
So,
wristwatch. No,
yeah, well, so do I. Maybe not as cool as his, but hey.
yeah, yours doesn't
But
do a Mr. Fusion.
mine doesn't do a Mr. Fusion, but mine does have a really cool feature that and I just realized that this I think it's yeah, I've just realized that I've got the sucker on backwards, so I've had it on backwards this entire review. It's the one
Uh,
that was given to me, so it does that. So when you tap the sides, it lights up to tell you the time and all that. And people might look at that and go, "I don't know how you can tell the time on that thing."
I
There's
forget
numbers
the
on
term
it, but
for it, but it's a different way of telling time for sure.
yeah. So, but no, honestly, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty close to buying it. I mean,
I mean, I
I'm
guess
like it's pretty.
you did
Uh
not.
oh.
None of the internet saw that.
Kellen did break it.
No,
Oops.
he's still fine. But anyway,
He's pointing. He went that way.
that way.
That's too good.
Oh, wow. Stuff you get on an uncut. That's actually pretty funny. So
Yeah.
anyway, but alrighty, guys. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap that up there. If you guys haven't, please check out any of the other reviews down below. And anyway, if you guys can, Still Raven 21 has some interesting videos on his channel. Lightning storms of some. Ironically, I just now remember that,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Oh, our real life.
Yeah. So
Real
if you're
life imitates
interested,
art there, you know. But anyway,
yeah. So
guys,
I mean,
so
yeah. If you're
his channel will be down in the description below. So
Yeah, and I don't have much. I don't have much of anything at the moment, but I'm working on creating a music review channel. So, in regards to different types of music, of like vinyl, CDs, things like that, bands. Just things that we might talk about on the channel. You can look for that in the coming. You know, you know, in the forthcoming, I'll be working on getting some of those things done because I've got some things that I do want to talk about on my channel on some reviews. And regards to Back to the Future, I have the reissued Mondo soundtrack from the first movie, so I would definitely like to do a review on that one. So be on the lookout for that one coming soon,
and if you guys
and other reviews
also
in
saw,
the time.
oh sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
I was just going to plug the Midwest Reviews channel. If you go to my second channel, there is the trailer that was for this video for Gigawatt actually has a link to that channel, and you can probably find it on my main page also somewhere. So
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
guys, lots of other channels for you to check out that deviate a little bit from Transformers, but they, I know that people that watch these videos have more than just one interest, so maybe some of those things will perk your interest. But,
Right.
anyway, until then, guys, I guess that has been the review of Transformers Generation Select crossover Gigawatt, which is a mouthful.
Yep.
Anyway, until next time, guys, we'll see you in another review.
All right. Sounds good.